Welcome to History Adventuring. This is episode number 470. I'm Brad Hall, and today we're looking at the cost of living for me in 1978, Phoenix, Arizona. Every once in a while, I ponder the cost of living. So of course today I'm pondering the cost of living in old-time Phoenix. So I'll time travel back to 1978, when I was actually there, at age 20. I would never have been a very successful contestant on the TV show The Price is Right. I had no idea what things cost. For the first 18 years of my life, my parents paid for everything, like food, shelter, clothing, and I never paid even the slightest attention to what it cost. I wonder if many kids do. Anyway, other than knowing that comic books had gone up from 12 cents to a quarter, you really couldn't have gotten much price expertise from me back then. Since I'd been pondering moving away, I distinctly remember that one of my friends told me that rent for an apartment in Phoenix would be the staggering amount of $300 a month. That sticks with me, because there would have been no way that I could have afforded an apartment with a part-time minimum wage job. But it turns out that my friend wasn't right. At least, not for me. My first apartment was $150 a month. It was a tiny, one-room, no-bedroom apartment near 7th Street and Indian School Road, which I moved into in 1977. Yeah, not the most ritzy neighborhood, but it was fine for me. I suppose if I had looked in Scottsdale, it would have been more, and my friend, who grew up with a lot more wealth than I did, would probably not have accepted what I did. So in a way, he was right. Minimum wage, by the way, paid $3.25 an hour, so it took a fair amount of hours for me to make rent. As I recall, I was pleasantly surprised at how cheap food was at the grocery store. I just remember hearing my parents complain about how expensive everything was getting to be back when I was a kid. The only exact amount that I remember was a can of beans, which cost a dime. I ate a lot of beans. Don't feel sad for me, I liked beans, especially with hot dogs, which I boiled and ate with ketchup, no bun. I didn't get fat on that kind of food, but it kept me alive and happy. The car I had got great mileage, but required premium fuel, which must have been about 50 cents a gallon. The engine was a tiny one, and I don't recall what kind of mileage it got, but it was like a motorcycle. It would run for miles and miles on very little fuel. I commuted for the first year that I attended ASU to Tempe from my apartment in Phoenix, and have no memory of ever worrying about gas. I also loved driving, especially with the top down in the winter, so the distance of the commute never really bothered me either. I did move to Tempe during my last year at ASU, which was convenient, but I missed the driving. Well, probably what shocked me the most was how cheap green olives were. As a kid, I was told that they were as precious as gold, and I would even ask for a big jar of green olives for Christmas. Really? When I found that I could afford them easily, I made sure that I always had some. I have a nice big jar of green olives in my refrigerator right now. Thank you for time traveling with me back to 1978. This has been History Adventuring. I'll talk to you later.